So if you guys aren't clear on why, what's the why, then you're going to run out of gas in your daily practice. If you have a clear vision of your ideal, what you want to be, the why do you commit to these things? That's the fuel that's going to drive you. But without the why, it just doesn't work. When I work with my private clientele, that's the first thing we get to. Why? Why are you doing any of this? Because if there's not a clear why, because when I work with my private clientele, it's a bit of a roller coaster. The healing path is not unicorns and rainbows. So you have to know why you're engaging in these practices of self-realization, of knowing yourself at the deepest level, of healing your own trauma, of facing your shit. You have to know why you're doing it. You have to be crystal clear about that. Otherwise, you quit. And so the why has to be for you, but ultimately, embodying the greatest version of ourselves, striving to become the best man that we can possibly be, is obviously an act of service. So we do this not only for ourselves, but for the people in our lives who depend on us, and for people that we'll never even actually interact with. The more clear you become, the more peaceful you become, the more present you become, the more loving you become, so too goes the entire cosmos. So it's our responsibility to take care of this little point of consciousness that is our perspective on things. And so that's part of the practice of tying the entirety of all the things you want to do: earn more money, get fit, learn a martial art, meditate. All these things need to be unified into one purpose path. All things become the same thing. There's this amazing book. Many of you may have heard of it. Some of you guys may not have, called the Hagakure. Anybody hear of that book? You got to put it on your reading list. It's Hagakure. It's written in feudal Japan, I think the 1300s, and it's like a samurai code of ethics. And it's just this series of little proverbs, little codes for living, and it's profound. You don't have to be a samurai to get it. But one of the things, I can't remember the exact words, but it's to the detriment of a warrior to follow many ways. It's our responsibility to boil all ways into one way. So, for example, you have your breath practice, you have your meditation, you have your work, you have your physical fitness, you have your self-development, you have all these things. Who has time for it? And if it feels scattered, if it feels like a million different things you have to do, it's going to drive you crazy. So you got to find the underlying theme of all of it. And that's your dream. That's your purpose. That's your reason for being. And then the decisions for what stays in your life and what goes are easier to make. Does this serve the vision that I have for my highest ideal? Yes, continue. Does this prevent me from becoming what my soul yearns to become? Yes, then get rid of it. It becomes much easier to make the decisions when we have a destination in mind, and the destination is the dream. The destination is the purpose. And without that, we are spinning our wheels. So if you